y'all so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Kela Trishaan and I make videos on lifestyle, womanhood, and mental health. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. All right, so today is story time day, so I'm just gonna get right into it. This story is about when I first started in a rental. My first manager that hired me, he was a little bit off. That's the best way I can say it. He was off, and it was one of those situations where I didn't know if I was tripping or if he really had something wrong with them. But one day he got into it with the customer and it escalated quickly. So if you are interested in the drama and just hearing what transpired, go on ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so basically it was one of those days where it was super gloomy outside. It was rainy and it just wasn't a good day to be out driving around. But if you work in a rental car facility, you're gonna be driving. So my manager seemed to just have a little bit of a temper, and I noticed it because he would get mad if we didn't meet our sales goals and stuff. He would just kind of be a little overly angry. There's a certain level of maybe disappointment that you'll have, but he would be real mad to the point where I'm like, do I need to come my brothers? What's going on? So yeah, he was just that personality type. But anyway, so this particular day, it was just it was busy, it was rainy, and it was just kind of the worst day to have in a rental facility, but it just was what it was. So we had customers that were angry because we did not have enough vehicles available. And this is something that would happen relatively often because the idea is to have all the cars on rent, and then we just kind of book appointments and we just wing it. So a coworker and I were told to go to one of the local body shops to pick up the rental cars that were dropped off from customers that had been renting a car while their car was in the shop. So we didn't have any cars to get there, so we ended up having to walk to the location because there were two cars there. So we walked, it was a few blocks. So he and I walked, and we were gone for, I would say, probably close to an hour because it took us a minute to get there. So when we left the branch, there were several customers in the location, and my manager was running the front desk by himself, which is not a big deal. But I guess one of the customers that he was dealing with had, so I don't know if the customer got out of control or if it was my manager that got out of control, but either way, they ended up having an exchange of words. So as soon as I got to my vehicle that I was supposed to be taking back, I'm getting a call on my cell phone from the coworker that had stayed behind to assist my manager. And she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, I just got into the car. I'm headed back to the branch. What's going on? She was like, "I need you guys to hurry back." And so at first I thought that she was I don't know, I thought she kind of had an attitude or something because we were gone for a minute. So I was like, why? Why do you need me? And she was like, "Because he's about to fight." I'm like, "Who?" She's like, "The manager." So I don't even know what's happening, but she's frantic, and I'm like, okay, we'll hurry up. So I end up hitting up the other guy, and I told him what was going on. So we're trying to smash back to the branch. Mind you, it's raining. It's raining crazy. So we get back to the branch and we pull in, and then I see my manager and I see this customer, and then I think it was his mom trying to hold him back, the customer's mom. But my manager is in full stance with his fist up, going back and forth with the customer. And I'm looking what is going on? At this time, I had only been an employee for no more than 3 months because I started around winter. So this is, yeah, it was cold. So I walk up, and I'm not about to jump in between two men fighting. I mean, I might scream something hey, what's going on? What y'all doing? But I'm not about to jump in. I'm not trying to get hit. So then my male coworker that I walked with, he walks up and he kind of runs up "Oh my God, what's going on? What's happening?" And then my manager is cussing, I can't even repeat what he was saying, but he was basically saying that the guy had him effed up and he was about to learn a lesson that day. So I'm confused because most companies, even if a customer is wrong, if you physically get into an altercation with them, you're fired. So I'm concerned about his job, but I'm also like lost because how did it even get to this level? Like we were gone for a little bit, but how y'all go from, renting a car and waiting for a car to you guys outside about to fight? So the mother ends up calling the police, and the mom ends up calling the police, and she is like,
"You are not about to put your hands on my son. I'm gonna have your ass put in jail."
Blah blah blah. So we're all just sitting there like we don't know what to do. During this time, there are still customers inside. So at this point, nobody's even mad about the cars not being there. They're more interested in the tea. Like, okay, so who gonna hit who? What we doing? What, like, how this gonna go? So the cops finally pull up, and I think it was like 2 of them. So they pull up, and then they're asking like, what's going on? What happened? How did this get to this point? So they ended up handcuffing my manager and handcuffing the customer. So we're sitting here like we're all just looking at each other like, what the is going on? So it got to a point where the area manager ended up being called, and the group manager, I believe it was a group manager. So they all came to the branch to, I guess, speak for my manager. So they were there for a little bit. They pretty much took statements and asked what was going on, and it ended up being like nobody actually went to jail per se. It was just like, if you guys don't get it together, squash it right now, then we're gonna take you both to jail. So yeah, it was like honestly the weirdest situation. So after that whole fiasco, we had gotten all the customers going, and everybody left. My manager tried to apologize to us, and he's like,
"I'm so sorry that you guys had to see me in that light. Like, it's never okay for, anybody to act the way I did. I take full responsibility."
And in this moment, I was thinking like, yeah, I probably should have stayed at the bank because these people are nuts. So yeah, it was like, it was the most odd of days. And that kind of set the tone really for the rest of my career in rental. Like, it was always some BS jumping off. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. So if you enjoyed this story time, go on ahead and give me a big fat thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you have gotten this far and you have not subscribed, go on ahead and click that subscribe button below, and be sure to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. With that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
Turned your back, it's like I never knew you. Leave that, leave that, leave that, in the past. Leave that, leave that, leave that, broke up in the past. Leave that, leave that.